Test 1 2, test 1 2. Too loud. Testing 1 2, testing 1 2.
Make sure. Oh, she's here. So for everybody that was here the other night, we're not going to be doing roll calls tonight, but we will do the speaker where you want to ask to speak, and then I can view the speakers. So you're going to Florida, huh? Whereabouts? Gonna go see Lena?
Going to Orlando just to do a fair around the world. Play some golf.
You like it?
Yeah, I heard it.
We did check it?
Here's the thing.
Mako or Mako? Should we do Mako instead? Should we do them? We should do Montana. Montana. I would. And I think we should try Mako also.
I think we're on.
We haven't paid any dues lately for it. Have we even Mako? I think when Joe left, it just sort of went by the wayside.
The Mako side, yeah.
Because I had someone ask me at the Montana League. There used to be on, but it was actually Nico's booth or whatever it was. I hadn't been on there.
So why is this before us? Well, I know it's in the mail. Do not pay. Invoice was paid with the NACO. NACO and NACO. So
I have
there's,
no idea. They're the same?
well, NACO and NACO. I seen an invoice or an email that says we paid this.
It says Helen. Butte-Silver County? Come on. What's with that?
You know what I'm saying?
Mill levy.
Next Wednesday. That's when we're gonna figure out. Vote on who gets what. We did the presentations last 2 nights. So what time we ran out of time? At 6 o'clock. Shops complex. I can see.
You want to make sure you have the Synap open on the front so you can view the presentation. That's the Synap stream. So
We are.
Thank you, Lori. Thank you.
I did not get
Gallatin County.
No, these are just the other people that do.
Hey, John. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Butte-Silver Council of Commissioners Committee of the Whole meeting, October 26th. Could I have roll call, please, Colleen?
We have 9 present, 1 presiding, and 2 absent.
Thank you. Let the record show that Commissioner Anderson and Commissioner Henderson are both excused this evening. Would you join Commissioner McDonough with the rest of us with the prayer and the pledge, please?
We continue to ask for a special prayer for Commissioner Henderson. Almighty God, we implore you, look upon us and guide us this night as we make decisions which will greatly affect our community of Butte-Silver. Direct our thoughts, words, and deeds so that we please you and best serve our fellow citizens.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Brendan. At this point in our meeting, I would call for any public comment on any items that are on tonight's agenda. Okay. Sir, would you just come to either microphone and give us your name and address for the record?
Good evening, John, Commissioner. I'm William Rigby. I live at 2610 State Street. I'd like to talk about the county shop move. To me, the Mansfield Center is the best option. Why? All the utilities are in. Many of the buildings can be utilized with little or no modification. All the shops can be located there, including the asphalt plant. Chief Executive Vincent has talked about returning it back to the research center. I feel that's a fine idea. There's ample room for that as well. I have invited the council to come out and tour the facility. And, excuse me. And not many have, but I would like to thank those who have taken time out of their busy schedules to come out. I'm at a loss to try to understand how the council can make such a huge decision without looking at these sites firsthand. When I look at the criteria put out last spring without bias, the Mansfield Center was a clear winner. Let's look at the last criteria. No mass transit. When I checked the mileage with my car to see the difference between the Gilman Center, which was selected, and the Mansfield Center, there's less than 1/10 of a mile difference. Yet the Mansfield Center was given more points. Remember, the site with the least points wins. Then the vegetation screenings looked the same to me. And however, the Mansfield Center again was given more points. And with the present zoning, screening is not required at the Mansfield Center. I planted many trees at the Mansfield Center. Other than the one I cut down when we had to remove a transformer, they're all growing just fine. So that tells me it's good. And then there was the price. Has anybody sat down with MSE and discussed it? I'm told no. I think it would be a great buy. Looks like good old-fashioned politics to me. The Mansfield Center, let's see, had the Mansfield Center been chosen like it would have been, we would not be here discussing this tonight. And how much does this cost? 50, 60, 70,000? And we're back at square one. I've heard a lot of excuses. I know, but no real facts or reasons why it wasn't chosen. So to those of you who have come out, who haven't come out, please do so. I promise there's no invisible force field. And please don't make this very important decision on what is said in this room or anywhere else without looking at all these sites, checking the facts for yourself. Remember, this is going to affect this fine city for years to come. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Any other comments out there on items on the agenda tonight? Okay, seeing none. Report of the chair. I don't have a whole lot to report tonight. I did want to say as a reminder, there are 5 Wednesdays in November, and we did get a calendar a while ago from our previous secretary. I double checked to make sure it's what I thought, and we will be taking off the week of Thanksgiving that Wednesday, just as a reminder. And I will ask Tracy to send out a APB to all of our department heads to let them know that it'll be in the middle of the month. We normally take it at the end of the month, but I think in this case, we'll all agree that that's the best one. So just as a reminder. And we'll just move right into section 1. This is presentation, communication number 16-476. Linda Sager, Butte-Silver Project Manager, requesting Council Commissioners authorize time tonight for a presentation regarding the iTax software and online payment option available for taxpayers with the 2016 property tax bill. Linda, would you care to take the floor? Or Lori? You can tag team it. The two L's here, Linda, Lori. Lori?
Hello, good evening, Madam Chair, Council of Commissioners, and Mr. Chief Executive. Thank you for having us here tonight. This is a wonderful project that both Linda and I and my office are very pleased to have coming on board for the Treasurer's Office. It doesn't just affect the Treasurer's Office, it also affects the Assessor's Office, and I believe the Clerk and Recorder's Office. This will help customers pay and view their taxes online. One thing that happens in the Treasurer's Office on a daily basis is everybody's refinancing, they're selling, they're buying, and with all the lenders out there, we get phone call after phone call, which isn't a bad thing. But in one day, I can have 3 phone calls on the same property. Give those lenders the opportunity to look at those property taxes online and get the information that they're looking for. Whether it's paid information, whether it's payoff information, all of that would be accessed online. This is not replacing a job in the Treasurer's Office by any means. We're very busy, and it's going to help us work more efficiently and effectively in our office, being able to take care of the customers that don't like the technology and still want to come into our office and pay their property taxes, or the local customers that are trying to get through on our phone lines and can't because we have them all on hold during tax time, or we're on the lines with other lenders. So I believe that this will help us tremendously in giving better customer service in the Treasurer's Office for years to come. So Linda has a page up here which shows all of the cities in Montana that are counties in Montana that are actually looking at or have iTax. So you can see we're a little behind the times. The counties that aren't listed there have a different product, one of which is Orion, which is our state site that gets on with our state site that the Assessor's Office uses. But iTax is so simple and easy to use. I am sure Linda has her reasons why she chose this product, and I back her 100%. So if we go to the front page, or the opening page, you'll see the search options. Parcel number, owner name, property address, geocode, subdivision, section type, and all of that information. Those are the ways that you would be able to search iTax. One of the things that we talked about in one of our meetings is searching by owner name. There's a few people that don't feel that that's something that we may want to do in Butte-Silver County. So that's something that you might want to think about. Do you want to go ahead and go up there? Or just even a name? When you do a name search, it'll usually bring up multiple names. So then you would have to scan down to find out which one is the property that you're looking for. The handouts that I handed out, we've been having issues with our iTax, our Butte-Silver one. I'm sure from us getting our property tax information in order downstairs. So we were going to roll with this. If not, we have the handouts just to show you. So on the name search, Linda picked this one. You can see the parcel number there. has the mailing address, the physical address, the property information, which 2016s aren't available at this time because of the Northwestern Energy situation that we're dealing with. You can get a detailed report either on the values or the taxes, which you're not going to see a whole lot there. You will be able to print the bills once they're uploaded into the system. So one thing that I've noticed is our snowbirds are getting ready to go south, and most of them want to pay their taxes before they leave. So this is a huge issue for them because they're not able to. So what we've been offering them, once we've uploaded our property taxes on TaxWise or iTax, they'll be able to go on there, print off a copy of their bill, and they don't have to pay their property taxes online to our address, which is listed below.
Oh, thank you. These old eyes had a hard time seeing that fine print.
Most of our snowbirds, they have to count on somebody in town or the post office to forward their mail. So that would be another week and a half before they actually get their bill. So when I've been talking to our snowbird customers, they're liking that product, even though they're probably not going to pay online. So if we go back to the main page, which one? So that's another name feature there, which there's two. There's Sean and Danette, and then Sean's dad, I believe, is William. So we chose Sean and Danette for that property tax. So at the top up there, if you feel that this wasn't the right parcel number or the right property, you can do a new search. You can go into the history and look at the history of the property. In this case, if you want to click on the history. And it'll give you control is how many years back that we go back. You can go back as many years as you want. Right now it's set for 4 in our county. You can also get a detail on that and go to payoff from there. Go back to just go back one more, or you can click on that and show them. Will I even give it to you? We're kind of green on there. You see the levy taxes and some SIDs on that breakdown. So you can get a payoff if the taxes are delinquent. And this one's not going to show, it'll show the calendar, but if these property taxes were delinquent, it would have figures from the 26th on to, that's another thing we can control on how many days that we want to go out on that. Right now, I think it's set at 45, but it would give you the penalty and interest for that property for those payoff days. And then you can go and pay your taxes. And that's with a different product. So if you want to pull up, I'm going to have Linda do an address search for me. Or not an address search. If you do 5100 Warren, you don't even have to put this up. On this search, you can see where there are some delinquent taxes. If you want to go ahead and click on one of those and then go into the payoff, that will show you the figures on the penalty and interest that would be due on those days. property taxes are public record. I'm sure you're all aware. I think the biggest thing is what Butte-Silver wants to do as far as the search engine. The parcel number and address is where we're down to, and removing the name so that people would have to know what your address is or what your parcel number is to spy on you. We don't want this product to be a spy technique, but as you know, people will probably try and use it that way. The Montana Cadastral is also a product that is out there that most everybody's on. I could find most everybody's information on there. Does anybody have any questions for us?
Thank you, Lori. Any council members have questions for Lori? I know that you and I discussed this when you first came on board as our interim treasurer,
Yes.
and there are occasions where I know Community Enrichment and some others and myself from my district are wanting to know who owns a property because it's maybe open and accessible, or it's empty and vacant with no apparent anybody in there for years and years. So,
Right.
and I remember I asked you, some of them were LLCs. They just had really obscure names and maybe a PO box somewhere out in Timbuktu. And you and I talked about that, how we can make sure that we have the most updated information on folks.
Right.
So if someone passes away, I don't know if how that works exactly, how we can get an updated some information on someone
Right.
that you can contact.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And also we talked about maybe a contact phone number being in
A
there.
phone number.
There is, in the parcel master, there is an area in our tax-wise that we can add. But when I was at the treasurer's convention this year, when we do our new taxes, that falls out for some reason. And I'm not sure if that has to do with Orion, when we match up with our system from Mr. Dan Fisher's system at the assessor's office. And so we'd have to continue putting those in there. This system here will update every biannually, Linda? Is that what that was going to be? Biannual. So when property taxes are out, that's when it's going to be updated.
And how is that update done? You just take information from people that make changes directly to you? I mean, I don't know how else it can be done.
I'll have Linda.
Linda? It's kind of a problem, but I don't know how exactly you can
Madam
get your head
Chair.
wrapped around it.
Madam Chair, Council, those updates that we take twice a year are done. They're downloads that we get from the state into our GIS system, and that's where our property database is.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Lori? Okay, well, thank you, Lori. And when do you think this will, I know, oh, excuse me, Brendan? Commissioner McDonough, excuse me. I was waiting to see you to ask to speak. I'm looking at my
Thank you,
little
Madam
ask to
Chair.
speak button.
Is there any way that we can require a registered agent of an LLC along those lines, as Cindy mentioned, that, you know, from the assessor's office, when we have these delinquent properties that sit vacant for years and years, and then the taxes come arrear for 2 or 3 years? Is there any way that on this new software, we can list a registered agent for the LLC by name?
Lori?
Thank you, Commissioner McDonough and Madam Chair. I believe what we would have to do is that would have to be entered into our tax-wise system, because that's where this information is going to be updated. Can be proactive with the LLCs and contacting the ones that are active and finding out who the registered agents are so that we can add those to the system.
Okay, any other questions?
Oh, so we finally got them on there. This is another, the distribution detail is another option that's going to be available with this product. And this is the breakdown of where the money is going, where your tax dollars are going. This can also be as minimal or as broad as we want it. That's another check item that we can.
Okay. Very good.
So this one is a local school on this particular property. This next one, distribution detail, is special districts. Then we have state school tax collection. And this is your overall total.
Okay. And of course, with the certification and things like that, we're waiting on. I know you haven't mailed the tax bills, but once they're mailed, is there a little bit of a timeline before it becomes available on this iTax
Yes.
service?
Thank you, Madam Chair. We will have this proactive with our property tax bills. So once they've entered all the values and they've balanced and it's ready to go to the printers, we will be ready to go online with iTax.
Okay. Excellent. I think it's a great tool, and I think we're going to be able to use it for all sorts of positive ways. No spying, but just it is public record, and I think it'll be very helpful. Commissioner McDonough?
Thank you, Madam Chair. One final question. Can they pay with their credit card online through iTax? We're already set up for the vendor account.
Thank you, Commissioner McDonough. Yes, they can. With your credit card, it's going to be 2.75% on the total balance. If you have a debit card, it'll be 2.6% on your total balance.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, thanks again for Linda and Lori for your presentation, and we look forward to having this added little tool for us to use, especially for some of the other departments. I think they'll find pretty handy. So, and of course for the consumers, So,
Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Thanks, Linda.
All right. We're moving along. We have section 2. Communication 16-377. Chief Executive Matt Vincent requesting Council of Commissioners allow for ongoing discussion regarding efforts to relocate the city-county shops as a result of the state of Montana's pending removal of the parrot tailings beneath. Chief Executive Vincent.
Madam Chair, members of the council, I do have a brief update here, and I'll just ask for a nod from Commissioner Palmer as Chair of the Economic Development Subcommittee if this date works. We are ready to commence starting to take a look at some of these sites, but we decided that the best first site we look at before we embark on going to some of the other sites, such as the Mansfield Center, would be to do a comprehensive tour of our existing county shops location. And so we'd like to do that next Tuesday at 5 o'clock. So Tuesday at 5 o'clock at if we just meet at the county shops building on Civic Center Road there, we will walk through all of the parts of our county shops. We're going to have some of our supervisor that run that shop there for being able to answer questions from the commission and the public. And we'll also have an opportunity to talk a little bit about what the lay of the land looks like relative to the cleanup project that's gonna take place down there. So this coming Tuesday, November 1st at 5 o'clock at the county shops location, and we'll schedule the subsequent sites under consideration and talk about where we're at with the evaluation of those individual sites from that point forward. So,
Okay, Matt, so I know there are some people that have been interested, citizens that would like to participate. Are you going to be giving out some kind of a PSA or something?
yes, we'll have it on our website, and of course we'll work with our other media sources, the Montana Standard and Mike, and television as well, so folks know.
Okay,
and we'll
very good.
post it. So
Thank you.
Okay.
Any questions for Matt on that? All right, I'll look forward to that. Moving to section 3, communication 16-415, Thomas P. Kennelly, President, Town Pump, Inc., requesting Council of Commissioners authorize acceptance of charitable donation of property, adopt a resolution of donation, and authorize the Chief Executive to execute all documents pertinent to this donation. Commissioner Morgan?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll make a motion that we cross-reference communication 16-415
with resolution 16-64 and place this communication on file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to cross-reference communication 16-415 with council resolution 16-64 that just was presented in our Judiciary Committee, and we'll place that on file. Is there anything on the question? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Section 4, communication number 16-435. Fran Doran, 1 East Broadway, Apartment 7, Butte, Montana, requesting Council of Commissioners authorize the sale of 3 Butte-Silver owned properties to accommodate building of a single-family container homes of various sizes. We did receive a letter from Pat Reardon, our new land administrator, I think that's his title, and he did ask us to deny the request, which we did. It did go through our regular meeting last week. So Commissioner Morgan, could you please cross-reference this letter?
Thank you, Madam Chair. At this time, I'll cross-reference communication number 16-435 with communication number 16-480 and deny communication 16-435 and place on file.
Second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to cross-reference communication 16-480 with 16-435, which denies the request of the original communication, and we will place this on file. Is there anything on the question? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Section 5, communication number 16-453, Morgan Wyatt, 905 North Main, Butte, Montana, requesting Council of Commissioners authorize the purchase of county-owned property under the Butte-Silver Council policy on adjacent property. We also received a letter, which is further on in our agenda, that we will continue to hold in advance, but in this case, we will cross-reference this one with that. Commissioner Morgan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At this time, I'll make a motion. We cross-reference communication 16-453 with communication number 16-481 and place this communication on file.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to cross-reference communication 16-453 with the communication that's on the Committee of the Whole 16-481 and place this one on file. Is there anything on the question? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Section 6, communication number 16-463, Karen Burns, Director, Butte-Silver Community Development Department, requesting Council of Commissioners authorize time on October 19th, 2016 agenda for the 2017 Economic Mill Levy Fund proposals to be opened. We did have that presentation last week. Commissioner Morgan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll make a motion. We place communication 16-463 on file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place communication 16-463 on file. Is there anything on the question? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Section 7, communication 16-467, Dory Skrukrud, Office of Community Development, requesting Council of Commissioners concur with the recommendation of sale and authorize the preparation of a resolution for the sale of 102 East 2nd Street, Butte, Montana, to Jason Kuchin and Jeanette Letourneau. And we will hold that in abeyance, awaiting that resolution indeed. Section 8, communication number 16 Eileen, County Attorney Joyce.
Madam Chair, that resolution was passed last week.
Oh, okay. Let me find that number. Hold the phone here. Hang on a second. Let's see.
Suspension of the rules.
Was it suspended? Was it? Oh, okay. So let's see. That was a resolution. Okay, I see. It's resolution 16-62.
Oh, I just got to it.
Cross-reference it.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At this time, I'll make a motion that we cross-reference communication 16-467 with resolution 16-62 and place this communication on file.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to cross-reference communication 16-467 with resolution 16-62 that had been passed last week on suspension of the rules and place this on file. Is there anything on the question? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Eileen, for that. Section 8, communication number 16-468. Kristen Rosa, Administrator, Tax Increment Financing and Industrial District, TIFID, requesting Council of Commissioners authorized time on October 19th, 2016 agenda for a presentation regarding the Manufacturing Center of Montana MCMT program. Commissioner Morgan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll make a motion that we place communication 16-468 on file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place communication 16-468 on file. Is there anything on the question? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Section 9, communication number 16-475. Ellen Crane, Director, Butte-Silver Public Archives, requesting Council of Commissioners concur with contract amendments for Michelle Lewis and Callison Stratton. This was segregated last week by Commissioner Padu-Dolan, and I will ask her to speak on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I did speak with Ellen today, Ellen Crane, Director of Butte-Silver Archives, and she informed me that it was just a flip-flop, if you will, of hours for both employees, so everything is fine with the contract amendments. So I will move to place this communication, I think it was on file 16-475.
Concur in place.
Concur and place on file. Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to concur with communication 16-475 and places on file. Is there anything on the question? All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. And I see someone wanted to speak. Okay. We have a new system we're still working on here, and you did ask to speak. Was that taken care of? Okay, awesome. Thank you. Section 10, communication number 16-476. Let me get back here. Linda Sager, Butte-Silver Project Manager, requesting Council of Commissioners authorized time on this evening's agenda for a presentation regarding the iTax software and online payment option available for taxpayers with the 2016 property tax bill. Commissioner Morgan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. At this time, I'll make a motion that we place communication number 16-476 on file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place communication 16-476 on file. Is there anything on the question? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Section 11, communication number 16-481. Patrick J. Reardon, Land Record System Administrator, requesting Council of Commissioners approve communication number 16-453, request from Morgan Wyatt to purchase city-county property under the adjacent landowner policy and authorize the chief executive to sign the certificate of survey to be completed at the expense of Mr. Wyatt. And we will hold that in abeyance because that survey we are waiting that survey to be completed. So that's that. Section 12, communication number 16-487. Danette L. Gleason, Director, Butte-Silver Finance and Budget Department, requesting Council of Commissioners allow suspension of the rules to place communication 16-487 on the Council's regular meeting agenda of October 19th, 2016. Allow a presentation related to how the taxing jurisdictions of the city and county of Butte-Silver will be impacted by the settlement agreement Northwestern Energy reached with the Montana Department of Revenue and make a recommendation. And we did have that all happened last week. So Commissioner Morgan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll make a motion that we place communication 16-487 on file.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to place communication 16-487 on file. Is there anything on the question? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And at this point in the meeting, I would call for any public comment on any item or matter not on tonight's agenda. Mr. Vanderab.
So on Grand Avenue, Butte, Montana. Comments from the street this week. These are not my comments. These are these I heard. We have an elderly couple living next to us who have to leave their black garbage can out because they cannot get it up the 4 steps from the street. Second comment. We were told they would continue to pick up the garbage in the alley. But now we are told the alley is too narrow. So we now have garbage cans left out to beautify our street. That is not what we were told how it would be done. My comment. Thank you to the Community Development Department for helping get those 21 more income surveys really needed to send to the state to get the stormwater grant. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ed.
And Commissioners, sorry.
Duly noted, Ed. Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Questions? Any other further comment from any public citizen on any matter that's not on tonight's agenda? Seeing none. Anything else to come before us tonight? Okay, Commissioner Morgan.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And I think, Nate, we need to leave. Is that how this works on the computer? We need to push the button leave on you? Okay, thank you. All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you. Happy Halloween, by the way. Ah, right. Cubbies are winning. All right.